very good guy. He's a very helpful guy. I like his attitude. And he comes from a company called HTG, which stands for High
Hold on, honest tech guy.
Honest Guys.
Yeah.
Honest Guys. So he's got many years of experience. He works with many clients. And let him introduce himself. So over to you, Johan.
Yeah, thank you so much, Coach. Thank you for, of course, this opportunity to be in front of all these, I would say, leaders of their industry. And yeah, I mean, I would love. I mean, I'm honored to be able to share what I know to everyone. And of course, I hope that everyone will get some value out of this. If I'm going too slow or I'm going too fast, just let me know. Okay. And of course, I will have some Q&A later on while going through it. So yeah, I guess without further ado, let me start the presentation. Okay. Um, I just want to keep track of my time as well. Sorry. Okay. All right. So yeah. So today's topic is about removing the barriers to productivity, right? Which we talk about speed, scale, and smarter execution in the AI era, right? So I think today, I mean, back in the, older revolution, right? I mean, of course, things were a bit slower in terms of execution because there was no technology, right? There was not much technology. Technology was not so mature during that time, right? So you can see even profits like were not that exponential like what you see today, right? Because if you see today, things that can be executed by used to be executed by plenty of people, a whole team can now be executed by digital employees, right? Which you call them, right? And there's a term for this which people are calling it agentic AI, right? And I think that's the new buzzword for this whole AI space. I will jump into some parts of agentic, but overall, today I'm going to touch more on how your businesses can prepare for this AI phase, right? Because of course, just telling you what's the new shiny tool, what this tool does this tool does that, you can get that from YouTube, right? And then it's totally I would say every day you have something new coming out, right? So that's not something of value which I feel would resonate with all of you. I think what would resonate well would be something that you can apply immediately to your business, right? So let me just jump into the next slide. Okay, just a little bit about me. Okay, my name is Johan. Okay, I'm a tech entrepreneur. I work with I help many businesses within Malaysia and also Asia, right? In helping them build and transform their technology ecosystem, right? Which we help them to instill, technology to increase productivity, of course, to also be able for decision makers to make better decisions, for to automate certain flows. We come from, I mean, just a little bit in history, right? Where we started with a lot of UI UX, so that is user interface and user experience, right? And from that, we slowly evolve into a lot of developments, which we help companies such as such as Aeon, Zeus. We were also serving T Life, right? And also a few of these brands that you hear out there, right? So we have the experience where we have seen the smaller setup to the largest setup, and we have also helped smaller companies grow from small, medium to large, and in the end, MNC enterprises, right? So what what I am specialized in is, of course, to architect systems, right? Processes, right? We help people to instill AI into places that matters and places that would help them, of course, be able to run their operations as smooth as possible without downtime, right? And I think this is where AI come into play the best, right? To be able to also allow your employees or the people working around you to be in fact, now we say it, right, like it's like there used to be one person. Today that one person can become 1.5% or 1.8%, right? Just because of AI, right? So I will go through more about that later on. I am a co-founder of Honest Tech Guys, which is actually um, a software solution agency that also focuses on AI. So yeah, later on I will also show you some of the case studies and works that we have done for some of our clients. But without further ado, let's go in to the next slide. All right. So I like to always start with a quote, right? So, it's not effort that's missing, right? It's clarity, consistency, and systems that what holds most businesses back. What it means is like, it's acquiring a system, acquiring an AI system is not hard, but but getting your organization ready for AI, that is something that people always skip because they always want to get to the end goal. And what they do is that they're always, they're focusing on the end goal and not focusing on the processes. But in fact, if we look at a lot of things that contributes to a successful AI, it is actually your existing processes that would be able for you to have a more successful AI output. I'll go through more of that again. So this is something that no, wait, let me just, sorry. All right. So first part is the productivity struggle is real, right? Of course, you see this a lot. You hear this a lot as well. Too much to do, too little time, right? So imagine if you are a small business owner, of course, if you are a larger organization, you do have you have more privilege of other people helping you with some of these jobs. But if you were a retail owner or some sort, you have to check supplier invoices, approve social media posts, reply to customer DMs, track daily sales, right? All of that things, everything that you need to do. And these are, in fact, these are called the low value tasks, right? Low value tasks that just needs to be done. But for some reason right now, it's still being done by human, right? While there is also things like I'm drowning in repetitive tasks, right? So things like, imagine if you're an accounting firm, right? You would have to manually copy like these WhatsApp messages, right? And then you also have to be typing the same reminder again and again. You have to be chasing for the same documents. You have to be updating the same spreadsheets, right? So I think these are common tasks done by many of our admin team, and or even the finance team, right? In fact, if you're looking at some of these, I would say larger brands, right? For example, just recently I was speaking to the CFO of Carlsberg, right? And they already started using RPA, right? RPA is a form of, it's the first step of agentic AI, right? Where it is called a robotic processing automation. Okay, and this is something that it's similar to what agentic does, but it lacks the brain for it, right? It's a very I would say mechanical way of working, right? So agentic AI is something that they're able to think and able to collaborate. So I'll go more into that later as well. The third one is our team is busy but not productive, right? So marketing agency spends like 60% of the day switching between apps. If you were to see a marketing agency and how many apps they have to use, right? It's ridiculous, right? Because, for example, not just marketing agency, I think for a lot of even nowadays small businesses, if you own a e-commerce store, right, alone, right, if you were doing commerce itself, you already have so many apps to track, right? You have Google Analytics, you have, you have your, if you have a heat map, you have to go through your heat map. If you have your, of course, your back end details of dashboarding, all of this, everything has to be gone through by people, right? So there's also things like double checking client briefs, right? Repeating the same instruction in 3 different chat groups, right? So I think that sounds quite familiar to all of us, right? Where sometimes at times we do need to do that. We need to manually go and share something to all 3 different groups or all 5 different groups or however many groups that we have, right? Well, so that's a lot of challenge which we see day to day and we hear day to day with all our with the people that we come across, right? So right now, when we talk about this, a lot of times we say, right, AI, yes, AI is that new shiny tool, the buzzword, right, that everybody wants to come on board. There's even a sense of feeling, FOMO, right, feeling of missing out, right, where everybody just wants to, I just want something to do with AI, right? But you see, sometimes it's not a tech problem. You see, AI, in order for us to implement AI successfully, right, we need to make sure our processes are done correctly first. Okay? I repeat again, because I know it's counterintuitive, right? Because you're thinking like, hey, I have AI. AI should be able to do all of that for me. Why do I need to determine my processes, right? But AI still needs a set of processes for them to understand your business. Okay? So you see, a lot of times businesses, they don't document anything, right? We just do, and nothing is documented. Nothing. Sometimes we always say, oh yeah, it's we have to follow the SOP. But sometimes maybe the SOP is not even updated. Maybe it's only updated, maybe at any time when there's a need or when someone just remembers, right? So there's also the issue of teams working in silos, right? There's also the problem of data lives everywhere, right? It could be in Facebook, it could be in your e-commerce site, it could be in so many of these different tools that you use, right? And of course, the decision lacks insight because everything is in silo. So you don't have that unity or the 360 view of everything that you want to actually view to make a better decision, right? Because by just having by just basically assuming from just 1 or 2 platforms, right, it's not sufficient, because we are like taking something and just assuming that this is the case, but we're only looking at a small part, right? So that is where, so that is where there are things also like, for example, manual, what's actually slowing you down, right? So, there are like manual processes as well. Multiple humans working on low values, essential things daily, right? Which I mentioned above, right? There are also fragmented tools, right? For example, Excel, WhatsApp, verbal updates, right? There's poor data visibility, right? And also, sometimes most of us, we depend on one person to hold all the information. And when that one person goes ill or sick, we our workflow stops. Our workflow stops, and we have to wait until they come back from their sick leave, either 2 days, 1 day, or 3 days sometimes, and then only the workflow starts again. So these are problems actually that AI can solve. But in order for AI to help us solve these, we also need to help the AI train them on our business. You see, when we look at AI like ChatGPT, Claude, whichever large language model that we're looking at out there, they are actually general models, meaning that they only know general knowledge. They do not know about your business specifically. Okay? Every business, even though I can say I am in retail, the next person is also in retail. But the way we run our business is very different. And AI don't know that. AI only knows the fundamental of running a business. They do not know that style of running a business, or the aptitude or whatever that get involved into that mix, right? So this is where what I want to get to is, in order for us to get to that successful AI point, we need to prepare some things beforehand, or we need to be doing the right things daily, slowly by slowly, and be able. So sorry. Let me just, yeah. We need to be able to go. Let me just put that there. Okay. We need to go through this in a daily way, that it becomes a practice, right? A practice that we so sorry. Yeah. It becomes a practice that we all do on a daily basis. And it's not just the owners of the business. It is everyone within that organization that works towards that. For example, let me go into the example what I mean. Okay. So you see, as I mentioned earlier, I don't want to give just tools of what to use, because tools of what to use is very easy to know and very easy to get. What we want to go through is that to get your organization ready for all the tools that are coming up for you to use. Because in fact, let's talk about the short term, the short term things that can be done. Okay, let me just see. Yeah, okay. Let's talk about the short term things that can be done. Right. For example, let's talk about document recurring processes. Right. So, example, we should document whoever that is doing, whichever organization that is doing it now is definitely well and good. But whoever that is not doing now should start doing this from today onwards. For example, every recurring processes should be documented. How you hire somebody, how would a salesperson introduce your company, how would you handle refund, how would you handle all of this, all processes that you do within the company should be documented. Okay, I know it is tedious. Normally, we always say, especially us business owners, we say, "Hey, just quickly do it." We just want it done. But if we want to have a successful AI-ready future for our organization, we need to get these things ready first. The second thing is create task accountability. Who is responsible for what task? And for example, you need to assign the ownership clearly, right? Not just say, oh, the sales department needs to do this. But who in the sales department needs to handle this certain job requirement, right? This certain task, right? And of course, using things like Jira, ClickUp, Trello, right? These are applications that will help you manage that task accountability, and that making sure you know who is supposed to do what kind of responsibility, and they should not, well, cross function unless it's needed. Okay, and when they are cross function, you can still put them as two different roles, but that one person is handling the two roles, right? So those things have to be done correctly. The third thing, and this is short-term things that you can do, right? Which is centralize all your communication, right? If it's email, centralize in email. WhatsApp, keep it in WhatsApp. There's even an application now called Luck. I'm not sure if any of you have anyone heard of Luck before. Yeah. Okay. Wait up. Where is the chat? Do I see any? Fucking okay. Yeah. I mean, yes. Okay. So Ben said, yes, right? Is that from now? Yeah. Yeah. So, like, yeah, it's similar to Zoho, right? But Luck is from China, right? There is a new product that they created, I think, to compete with Microsoft. But if you see the entire ecosystem, you can see how it actually helps to integrate every part of the business into one ecosystem. And that is the kind of tools that is very good for you to implement AI in the future. Because things like Luck, when you already consolidate everyone together in one place, in one area, you can create AI applications to run your organizations. Later, I will share with you one of our clients that we work on and how they use Luck and AI to help their organization. Okay, and this has to do with HR as well. So later, it'll be very relevant for those in HR. Yeah. So that's for the short term. Okay, that's for the short term. So if we look at, I mean, so far, everyone following, or am I going too fast, too slow? Is everything okay?
Feeling okay.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I think, sorry, I missed this, where we should, I mean, there is a need to define clearly where and what should be communicated where, right? So if you see all these organizations that are larger in size, normally they would already have consolidated the communication, centralized the communication. But if you see the smaller to medium, it's still everywhere, right? So we are always telling everyone to do that, right? To try to centralize it. Okay. So the next one is on the medium term, right? Which is to automate and integrate, right? So firstly, when we have done the basic part, which is documenting, doing all those, making sure we have the SOP all right, right? Everything is done. We know what needs to come next and next and next in this role. Then you can start to automate the admin role. For example, leave forms, daily sales report. Do you know that now we have customers that are going, because they have many restaurant outlets. So what they do is that even though there's the information are sent back to a centralized cloud, AI will help them to crunch this data and be able to even send it to the management's WhatsApp with a summary of letting them know what happened today, what could be improved, what is the thing to look out for, right? So AI is already helping them to decide these things. It's helping them to decide certain things based on the reports that are coming out, right? Because those, now, back then, we needed data analysts, right, for larger companies, and the ones that are in the smaller companies, they normally use the marketing person to crunch this data. And when they do, I mean, sorry, not about the salesperson, sorry, right? And when you get the salespeople to do this, at times they are sales that they are good at what they do, but they're not so good with data, right? So these are areas that AI does a better job in crunching this data and giving you insights, right? So you have also inventory logs, customer follow up. All of these now can be done. All of this now can be done using AI. In fact, I give you an example of one of our customer in the space of, it's a marketing company. Okay, they have a thing called account managers, right? So all these account managers, they are the people who bring in the customer, and of course, first they have to filter through and make sure that they are a good lead. Then only start to prepare the proposal for them, and then after that, then from proposal, then they go into further discussion, right? Right now they are getting AI, agentic AI, to replace that. So what they do is that they are doing Facebook ads. They will have Facebook ads, and when the leads come in from Facebook, no human intervention. The agent goes inside there, takes the leads, put them, well, first, they, of course, when they take the lead, they will already have their Lazada shop, their Shopee shop details, their TikTok shop details, every of these details, right? And the AI agent will go and study these people and to come up with a result whether or not this person is potential or not. Okay, then as they are potential, they will then route this to a human to speak to them. Of course, before routing to the human, right, they have already some conversations by a chatbot to speak. I mean, it's a AI powered chatbot lah, to speak to the customer, right, to ask them those low value questions, so that when this cold lead turn into warm lead connects with your account manager, they are already warm already, and you know what they want. You see, and then after they meet your account manager to generate the proposal, they also get AI to do it. So with all those information and all of that, and going through the whole process, in back then they needed 4 people to process this. Today, 1 person is processing and 1 flow. Yeah. So imagine the number of headcounts you are helping to route these headcounts to other areas of the business. Right? We're not saying AI is to take over human. It's not take over human. It cannot take over human because it still doesn't have that the aptitude that human has. But it's going to help us achieve more. So things like, also the next one would be, so there are things like make.com, ServiceNow, right? These are all agentic AI setups that you can set up. There's N8N, there is Crew AI. There is so many of these nowadays. There is even those that easily for small business owners to set up, and it doesn't cost much. You only cost like $20 over per month for you to set that up. Okay, and then your admin role, your some of the finance role, giving you reports, all of that can be done using agents, right? In fact, NVIDIA, the boss Jensen, he has predicted that in year, which is 2025, 2026, which is next year, right? There are going to be more agents than humans, right? There are more agents than humans because those agents are working for those humans, right? And more people are having access to these agents. Okay, so the next part is to start tracking your useful data. Okay, for example, your customer queries, try to segment them by types, right? For example, your sales by product or location, right? So your sales also, I believe you might already have some of this data if you are using a system already. Okay, so that's why sometimes it's good to have the first step of creating a system. For example, if you create a mobile app, if you create a web page or whatsoever, even if you create a portal, we serve one client that is one of the biggest retail within Malaysia, right? And you would be surprised that most of these processes are still very manual based, right? And so lately they have been like, investing into creating a partners portal that everything is done digitally, because that's the only way for them to apply AI into their business, right? So even big companies, they have to go back to fundamentals. No running away. You cannot run away from these fundamentals, right? So which I go back to that first step, right? That is the most important. And now and then you have the last one, which I feel is most important for many businesses, which we always lack, which is to have a single source of truth.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry? Oh, yeah. Okay. I think it's yeah. Which is to have a single source of truth. What it means here is that you are having your database, your customer data, everything within one centralized place. Your SOPs, your everything that you have. That's why initially I mentioned about like luck, right? So luck, you would be able to get all your employees, everyone within there, and all the documents of your SOP, your whatsoever, everything is within that ecosystem. So if I was a new recruit, I go in there, I can also be able to have all the things right in front of me. I don't need to go and ask the HR, hey, do you have a employee handbook? Do you have this? Do you have that? All of that is within that platform. So by the way, I am no affiliate to luck. By the way, I'm just giving you some examples, okay, of this sort of application that can help you, right? So always try to have one master copy, and that master copy is where you share with other people. Because when you have this single source of truth, later on, when you are managing this and you will have multiple vendors sometimes in some circumstances that will need access to this DB. So when they need access to this DB, you can always determine which fields of that table you want to provide to them. And that's where everything is centralized, everything is kept, and that is your lifeblood, right? They always say, oh, data is the lifeblood. Data is the lifeblood. Yeah. But data kept everywhere is not your lifeblood. It's just everywhere, right? So what it really means is that ensuring that all these data are kept in your centralized place, that you know how to manage, that you're managing in the best format possible. And this is where when you implement AI, you have a very, I would say maybe your data may not be clean, but that is a very simple step to do. But the hard part is getting all those data into one warehouse when you want to do it. You see? So we always say start from that point, right? Always have the single source of truth. Okay? Right. And so then we are ready. So then the third step is we are ready for AI, right? Because firstly, you own your own data already, right? You own your own data. You have structured records of customers, interaction, sales, ops, build or migrate. You have every of these things all together, right? And then you also have build or migrate to data warehouse if growing. Yeah. So of course, when you own your own data, you want to have your own data warehouse, and something that we help some of our clients to do this as well, right? To consolidate all of this data within one centralized place, because that is where the power of using that data later on to get more customers to cross sell to. So if you see many of these public listed company in the US, they are so good at using their existing data. They are so good at putting that, well, I'm not saying all, right, but I'm saying those that are listed and, doing very well, like, those well within, yeah, I mean, I would say, yeah. So, well, things like SoFi and all these, even they're not so big companies, but they are there are companies that with customer data on their hands is powerful because they know how to use it. So that's why first is to get all of this together. Second is knowing how to use it, right? So then you, of course, you can use AI agents for decision support, right? Chatbots for FAQs or sales support. Because if we go back to basic number one, day one, you have already done that. You have already consolidated all these processes. You know what your agent, how, I mean, you already can train your agent to be your perfect employee already, because you already have those things. And why I say perfect, because this employee never gets sick and they are always processing it for you on the dot if you set it right, right? So that's where AI really can help you, because instead of telling them something and they give you something irrelevant, which a lot of people are facing that, right? A lot of people say, "Ayo, I try already so many times. I try to generate content, it's also all wrong." Sure, because you are telling an AI to generate something relevant to your business, which they don't have the information, and they are only general knowledge AIs. So they only know what the general knowledge know. They don't really know your exact processes inside, right? So that's why I say, for example, your forecasting tools using your data, right? AI assisted reporting or alerts, right? Which I say, sometimes your staff even forget to report back to you. Agents won't forget, right? They are always on the dot. They always give you on time, and they will always generate that, right? So that's another one. And then of course, last but not least, review and refine quarterly, right? Use KPIs, time saved, sales closed, errors avoided. Because all of these things, update your SOPs and automation as you scale. So all of these things, like I said, it's implementing AI, right? It's not just implementing the AI tool. It is changing the culture of your company to fit with AI today. Because just using the tools are not going to get you you're not going to maximize what AI can do for you. You can only maximize what AI can do for you when you have all the right information to provide the AI. For example, I give you an example. There are an AI that do not know any language. Suddenly, you plug in a database that has all the data of how someone would speak Spanish. Instantly, they know how to speak it. So imagine if you plug in a database of your salesperson and what they have to do, what they normally do, how they serve the clients, what kind of KPI you look into, etc., etc. They can be your salesperson. Of course, not in physical, but on an online scale, right? So, let's, yeah, okay. So, I want to give you a few examples of AI which we have implemented for some of our clients, right? And I think one of them, which is Zeus Coffee, okay? So Zeus Coffee, just to give you some background, they have around 7,000 over staff right now, okay? And to manage for their HR, to manage 7,000 over staff is practically quite hard, right? If they're even just using a standard system. Because a standard system will mean that I need to understand so many factors. I think, Chua, since you are in, you're in HR, to manage, schedules, you have so many factors. You have their off days. You have, things like, let's say there is the prayers time. There is also minimum, minimum Malay presence in the shop. So all these things, a lot of people may think that, hey, it's so easy, I just see what slot they're available, I put in there. But it's not that. There's so many factors in considering for that person to be in that spot. And then not only that, they will have to, each person also may have a sick leave. Then we'll have this, we'll have that, so many factors. So what we did is that we helped this company to create first, of course, the platform. We created this platform where they can actually schedule things. Sorry, I had to block this out. Sorry, I had to block this out because there is some PNC stuff which
Confidential
I'm not
data.
sure. But there is a smart scheduler. So what this smart scheduler does, right, is actually it with just a button, it would consider every of those points, right, and it will immediately schedule them into the right places based on their availability, based on their preference, based on their off days, based on the timing they're available. So all these factors. So if you were to use human to do that, it might take hours, days, maybe. But with AI, it helped them to save almost about 48 to more hours, right? It's a 2-day plus period, right? On scheduling this, and this is not scheduled by one person, yeah. It is scheduled by every single outlet manager. Okay, so how much time did they save via AI? But they could only do this through very good documentation from the very start. They know every single thing. They know all of these values. They know, all of this. So when they implement this, it's very successful, right? We have as well, we're also helping Aon to manage all their partners within the region. Okay, just to give you some rough numbers, they have millions of partners that they deal with day to day. So this platform helps them to not only, like what we do is that we help them to gather all these numbers, crunch them, and provide them in this easy to understand format, right? So we have helped them to also, they could understand their conversion rates, they could understand their customer segment performance, new returning customers, all of this within that. And how they plan to implement AI into this is because there are so many factors, there are so many data points, right? And so they are providing a way for their partners to be able to use AI to simplify all this, to simplify all the data, and to be able to query things that matters to them. Okay, so AI can work as because as you know, AI is already working quite well as a AI chatbot. So imagine that same technology integrated into a search bar, right? You basically can search and know anything. So you can search okay, on this day, how was maybe this could be 6 months ago, right? And you said, on this day, how did I fare? How did the business fare? And the AI would just tell you, well, this is your best selling product. This is your, this is the best selling type of goods, etc., etc. So easy for you to make decisions. Yeah. And it will also give you certain things like your peak shopping hours and days, all of these data that are useful to the business and the business owner. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I over here, from what you see here, I have two examples of how agentic AI is actually helping some businesses right now. Okay, I will show you the first one first, which is about it is for one of the largest HR companies in I would say from the UK. Okay, they have offices around the world. The one that we are serving is the Bangkok office. Okay, it's based in Thailand. Currently, they have about 70 offices in Thailand. And all of these people that work for them, that are also on their payroll or whatsoever, are all submitting to them documents that are, for example, bills, invoices, any kind of like financial documents. All of these documents are always submitted, and when they are submitted, um, back then it was always done by a few finance people. All of them are trying to first, they will need to know whether that item is edible, non-edible. Then they have to find out what this item falls under which code. Then they have to find out, there's so many factors, and this whole process, right, took so much time. So what they did is that they asked us to implement agents to help with this process. So what it does, right? What the agent does is, first of all, there are 70 outlets. 70 offices. So all 70 offices will submit their their documents into SharePoint. I'm not sure if you are familiar with SharePoint, but it is a service by Microsoft. It's like a Google Drive. Okay, let's think about it like a Google Drive. Okay, so it's a centralized Google Drive where all these documents are submitted in there. When it is submitted, the agent will take this and OCR it. OCR means that they actually are scanning the document and extracting whatever words and content within the document. Okay, so they will extract things like invoice number, invoice date, items in the invoice, is it VAT, non-VAT? So many factors, right, that they take that out. As they take the information out, the agent will crunch this data. So the agent will first look at the items and see whether are they edible or non-edible. That decision will be made by the agent. The second one will be to see this item falls under which category. Health item. It could be, I don't know, they have so many categories. Okay, they have so many categories with different codes. Okay, so they will determine the code. And then from there on, it will help them to take all of this information and put it into an Excel sheet that is already in the correct column that you need it. Okay, so let me just show you a quick video of this. Sorry, yeah, I think it's getting a bit late already, so I will just speed through a bit. Okay, can you all see my screen? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So I'll just show you a very quick flow. This is from the back end. Okay, you won't see what happens in the entire process, but you will see the final output. Okay, so if you see here, these are all called nodes. So they're all individual nodes filled with a task for the agent to do, right? So if you see here, sorry, they're all in Thai because we're serving this Thai organization, but because they have so many, they are actually talking about hundreds of thousands of these documents per month, right? Per month. So these guys, what agents will do is it will go through. So all we need to do is just run the workflow. Okay. So basically this one we are showing as a sample. Okay. So it's not extracting the real information from OCR. From the SharePoint. It is not taking from SharePoint, but we're dropping the file in. Okay, so in normal circumstances, it will actually take from the SharePoint. Okay, but this one is a demo. Okay, so we'll show you. So this is, imagine it took the file already from the SharePoint, is now going through the OCR, taking out all the information from that document, putting in, looking through the vendor list to check who is the vendor that provided that, etc. And it checks through also. It will check through, like I said, edible, non-edible, etc. and all that. And then at the end, once all of these are done, we can put this as a repeatable flow, lah, right? You can see that all of this information, this one is like they have a code for the category, right? So I also can't read Thai, but I mean we know is that there's a code. This one here is edible or non-edible. One of them, I can't remember which one, but it's edible or non-edible. So the agent actually went through the list of things within the document and tell whether this is something can be eaten or not. Okay. Then you have all the codes that are all extracted from the document into this format. And we already tag. So we already say that, okay, all the category codes have to come to column, column J. And then this one has to come, all the VAT price has to come to column L. So all of that, right, as they scan, you'll just go in. And everything will just be placed all together within here. All the data. Yeah. So imagine if you needed humans to do this, it's gonna take so much time, right? And with agents to do this, it's so consistent, it's done, around the clock, and it does help when you have 70 over outlets as well. 70 over offices around there. So these are things that are helping these larger organizations now. Okay. Right. I think I'm almost at the end already. Yeah. Last one before I go through. There's another one that we did for a restaurant chain. Okay. So they have there is a restaurant chain. They have about 20 of our outlets. They have individual WhatsApp for each outlet. Okay, so there is zero visibility from the from the management on all of this WhatsApp. They don't know what is being replied or sent by the by the staff in the restaurant. They also got no visibility if the customer complain about something. Yeah. So what they ask us to do is to implement something like a AI that can help them. So what we did is that we helped them to have an automated feedback loop, right? Where this feedback is sent to all the diners after they have completed their meal. When it is sent to them, they will reply whether it's a 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, 5-star. Each scenario has a different I would say flow, right? So if they have given us 5-star, the 5-star ones we will basically just reward them with something else and then say thank you very much. If they were 4 and 3-star, there will be the agent will start to talk to them and get to understand what is actually why they gave only a 4 and a 3-star, right? And if it's a 2 and 1-star, that will be routed immediately to a human to handle. Okay, and with that, after all of this data has gone into a Excel, right? Sorry, a Google Sheet. The agents will then go in there and analyze how many, how many 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars, 2-star, and 1-star, generate a report for the owners, right? And at the same time, this agent is also looking out in all of this WhatsApp for triggers, chat triggers, right? Triggers by customers, triggers by by also their staff. Things that maybe there's a sense of dissatisfaction. Those are all also routed and reported back to management. So imagine, of course, they are not 100% foolproof yet because it is still training them on certain languages. Because sometimes certain languages may sound like it's normal, like like maybe a sarcastic kind of comment, right? But maybe the agent may think that, hey, it's just a normal comment because they sometimes cannot feel that. But that is over time we train the agent to know how to identify these things. All right. So that is just an example for me to share with you lah. On this. I'm currently at the end. Just to let you know, just to give you a bit of insights. Honest Tech guys, we have the humble opportunity really to serve all these clients. We started, honestly, we started with, we're not the kind of agency that are public listed. We're not large in size, but we try harder. Okay, we are the kind of people that would help brands like this when they get into trouble and finding the wrong, tech partner, right? And this is where we come in. We come in sometimes to fix things, but preferably we prefer to always build something good from the very start, right? So I think that is always something that we always propagate to people, right? And I think for us, what is important is that all of these tech things going on and all that. I think in the end of the day, we still have to consider the human aspect because who is interacting with all these? Who is the person that is going through the flow? It is still human. So that is where we come in, right? We join that together with the technology that is most suitable for the business, and we marry them to make them, successful, right? So just on today, because Coach, I was talking to Coach, and then he was saying what other values can be brought to the PEN members, because I think he has always been fighting for the best interest of the PEN members. So I carved out something that I will offer to to all the PEN members that are on this call, right? Where we're offering to 5 visionary clients, right? So we are going to offer 5 of these clients, a free consultation, right? On top of that, we're going to build a simple POC for them so that they can have a flavor of what AI can do, right? In whatever capacity that they can with their ready data. Of course, this we also, we're opening this up also to to some people that are outside of PEN, but of course priority we will give it to PEN, but you need to want it more, right? Because I think for us we love to give back to the community and whatever that we have received also. But I think in the end of the day, sometimes when it's free, sometimes people don't take it they take it for granted, right? So we want people that really will see that, hey, this can help my business, and we can see that through the business owner that they're hungry for this. And I think this is something that we want to offer to any one of you all. And if you're interested, I have a Google form which you can help us to fill in. I will, Coach, do you have the form with you?
No.
Okay, let me.
Anyway, thanks for the great presentation, Johan.
Thank you.
I think there may be 1 or 2 questions. I think a couple of questions from Go Ming Hunter, a couple of questions in the chat box. Shall I go through that?
Oh, sorry, I think I missed the chat box. Oh my God.
Johan, I think you put your number there, but not clear.
Okay.
Email address and number.
Okay, let me type it inside the
Yeah.
chat group. Okay.
Because it's too small, cannot see properly.
All right.
Can zoom in.
Oh yes, can. Yeah. So that's my number, and then I will drop in the Google form as well for those that are interested to have that package. Let us know. Hold on. Let me just.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm.
So I think that's a very generous offer, So you guys want to take it up. So Ms. Chua, maybe you want to take this up with Gene.
Mm.
He's telling you he's going to give it up to you, proof of concept. That's fantastic. It's a fantastic deal. It's like $10,000 or more.
We will definitely help, not just in implementing the POC, but I think to get the organization ready for AI, which what we mentioned. So there are certain things that need to change as well, right? Yeah.
Okay. All right. So to the questions, is there a solution which can learn all that is the key persons of the company? I'm not sure what that means, Is there AI solution which can learn all that is a key person?
Okay. Are there any expert system solution to capture the expert experiences and knowledge? Okay. I understand what you mean. Okay. So, definitely, I would say that there is right now, but I wouldn't also recommend that. I think the most important, right? The best way actually is to get the people that are working on it to spend just a day, right? Just one day to write out that process that they are working on. Because honestly, the time that you are going to let that system know to go and study what they're doing on a day to day, I would say it's doable. But I'll come back to you on that. I'll come back to you on that. If you don't mind, you leave me your contact. I will get back to you on the right system that you can use for that purpose. But that's a very, very good question.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Go. Yeah. So what Go is asking is that, is there a system that can track their employees without them having to write it right down, based on the daily processes that they're doing? I will go and find a suitable system. If not, then I will give you some tips on how you can do that.
No, the other aspect of the question is also, normally your company will have a key person, technical or very experienced individual or individuals in your team, where they are as your company progresses, as he or she grows older, a younger successor may not be able to walk in his shoes to learn and experience and have the sufficient exposure as much as the expert in the company, the key persons. So do you have an expert system now which can help to capture all that experts' experiences and knowledge and expertise? Yeah.
So you see, what I would suggest you to do, Go, is that with this expert person, right? Before he leaves, and of course while he's at his peak period during his review, get him to document what he knows and what he goes through, and also that document, right? It's not just, you leave it to him and then he will just write out whatever he thinks is correct, and then you put that document as that. Don't do that, because when you do that, you also don't really know if he's putting the processes correctly or not. Because of course, to him maybe it's correct, but that's where sometimes as a business owner you will know also whether or not he is putting it in that from a third party perspective So you can get him to slowly do that in that document.
But experts, you have implicit knowledge and implicit experiences and explicit. So you got two types, and then their gut feeling as well, which only comes with experience. So how you want to capture all that?
So that's why That's why which I'm saying we cannot. We only can capture when we're doing it day to day on a daily basis. If you say, okay, for example, if this person is leaving already next month, right? Or you say this person is only going to be with you for the next year. Next year may be possible because if they do it on a daily basis where they are updating what do they do in their role, right? What is it that they're contributing? Of course, we are never going to capture or encapsulate the entire person and who he is.
Yeah, that's right. The encapsulation. Say for example, now on the Zoom call now, we got Fu Zhongwei. He's
Yeah.
already 60 plus. He got so much of experience as an electrical engineer. So how we
Yes.
want to encapsulate and capture all that experience and expertise from him and him alone.
I understand what you're going. So you see, right? It's just like this. Recently, I also spoke to a beauty business owner. She also, she's been in the industry for almost like 40 years already. And, she knows in and out about the business, but none of the employees know about the business. So the first thing we tell her, right, because she is the head of the business, she knows about technical, she knows everything of this. But because after so many years, there was zero documentation of what she does. There is zero cascading down of knowledge, right? Where it's being put into a system, right? Where this is how this person does it. He doesn't need to replicate that guy's style, right? He just needs to know what he knows, right? The knowledge and experience, the experience that I would say the AI already has. Remember, AI already has general knowledge. So he knows already the general aspect of that job scope. But if all the AI needs to know is that how this guy is applying that in his current role. And the AI can actually do the same thing by answering, because actually all he knows is the knowledge. The experience will come when he start to jot that down. And then his experience will come out on paper. And when it comes out in that form can be used to train the model.
And then there's another aspect to the expert. His personal connections through the years of business contacts on that, because they have such wonderful connections and working together for 40, 50 years together. You cannot get your successor, a young successor to have that now.
Good question. I know what you mean, Go. But that's why you see, that's why I tell all business owner, even from the very start, you need to have a centralized system. So, for example, if you say contacts and all of that, right? Nowadays, there are so many new systems like Go High Level. There are, systems like, well, of course, the more expensive ones are things like Salesforce and whatnot, right? Where you consolidate all those contacts into one place. Each individual are submitting who they know, what they know, when they know this person, etc., through systems like that. And that's why then that system can be funneled back to your single source of truth, which I spoke about just now. Right? When we talk about a single source of truth, it's your single database. So as you do this, as you do that on that daily, on that basis, all of this data are funneled together into that warehouse, and then your AI can make the same decision that guy is doing.
Yeah, but I've seen in my family business, the client only wants to deal with the senior expert for the technical discussions and problem solving and so on.
Of course, definitely.
So there is no chance for even the junior successor to match or even reach that level of connection, which the expert has.
And unfortunately, that's the way things are. But AI, like I said, that's why I never said AI can replace human. This is the angle that AI cannot replace.
Okay.
AI can only replace your repetitive tasks, or if you got enough information of your entire process. Let's say, for example, you have your entire process of, let's say lah, okay, social media management, okay. Let's say in order for you to do that, you need to have, the social media manager, you need to have the the copywriter, the art director, or who, all of this, right? And if you have those processes all in play, the agents can be multiple agents working together as a team to contribute to something, contribute to the output. Okay, so we can also that's why it brings me back to that basic thing where every single organization should, first of all, document all of these things, right? And then use a centralized system. Because by doing those two things, nobody is irreplaceable in terms of that. Yes, definitely people still prefer to talk to seniors. But seniors in that space, because they don't want to waste time also. But imagine if you can equip that means, because now you are relying on that one senior. What if that person leaves? What if that person goes to another company or whatsoever? That means they are taking all the resources that away from your company and contributing to another company while you are left with nothing.
That won't happen.
Yeah, you understand what I mean, right? Because
I think he's talking about his founder, his boss.
oh, okay. We are talking about subject matter expert. All right. So, for example, let's say now for ourselves, okay, let's say we are a tech solution agency. If I rely solely on just that one developer to understand and know how to execute, that is not a business to me already, because there is too much reliance on that one person, right? So rather, if that one person is able to document what they do to make the business successful, and then automate some of those processes. You cannot automate everything. That's why, remember, even we go back to that account manager scenario, there's still the human touch there. The human touch cannot be replaced, but the processes leading to the human touch can be optimized. You get where I'm coming from? Yeah.
So basically, there's a limit how much you can encapsulate from the expert
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. You are not, even when you train somebody, imagine you train your employee, you train even whoever.
Your children, train your children also.
They're never going to be exactly like you.
Yeah.
In fact, a lot of times the father, when they're so successful, the son and the daughters find it very hard to keep up.
Yeah, they cannot walk. Yeah, they cannot walk.
They cannot walk the talk.
Yeah,
Even though they are your sons and daughters, you are with them every day,
Yeah.
So it's like that. AI is the same thing. We need to treat them like humans. They are also humans in a digital form, right?
The business system is good one. They build out the business system. I mean the big boss if the children cannot follow them, but they do a very good job is that they build the business system for their children actually.
Yeah. So, there are some seniors definitely maybe some of the things, like for example experiences and all that, definitely you cannot replace those things, right?
Yeah.
But if you're talking about the next person that comes in, right, and preparing them for that success, I would say you are closing the gap a lot more, right? Rather than leaving the gap so open wide, Of course, when you talk about in a scenario of a founder, and if the founder or the CEO is truly wanting to have a sustainable future for the business, they would start doing that. Yeah. And that's why a lot of these brands, what they mean by succession plan is also having all these things in play. Right? If your succession plan, they say, okay, I'm going to give that to you without any training, without any, what I used to do. Imagine Warren Buffett giving that whole responsibility to the next guy, right? He's not going he's not going to be able to do it if it's just the same day. He needed to do that succession thing for probably a year or two for that guy to be just prepared, right? And maybe he might not even do a good job, you know.
All right.
So there is still that human element in there lah. So AI is not a Superman.
Need to hire a AI controller over there in our company already lah, to monitor everyone is doing the record.
Yeah, exactly. And the good, that's why these are the tasks that AI can do for you. Instead of getting the human that sometimes they may miss, or maybe due to friendship, I say, yeah lah, that person already submit, already done all his thing. But if the AI does it, he's not going to have any favoritism. He's just going to see if the job is done or not, and then he's going to let you know.
Yeah.
So things like that, they are reliable for. So that's why understanding the limitations of what AI can do right now is also very important for businesses, because I think that's where you can really do your planning well as well.
Yep. Okay. All right. Thanks, Johan.
Okay,
Thank you so much. Yeah. So
Hang on, before we go,
yeah.
I just want to go run and see anyone with any last questions or comments.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Johan.
Yeah, no worries.
I
I will
think-
just share the link there. I haven't shared the link.
Yes. I think you guys are very privileged, because this is a very fantastic offer that is giving.
Other than the Lux apps, then have any other apps to introduce? Lux.
Oh, yes, there
The
are.
free one, free version lah.
Yeah,
Any free
Lux
version?
is actually free for 2 users.
Yeah.
First 2 users are free, but after that, then you have to start paying. But of course, to be very frank, most of these apps, right, if you're going to use them on a day-to-day, they're definitely going to charge something. But look at it this way, lah. In the end of the day, whatever they're charging you, it's just for like hosting or whatever. I mean, of course, you don't go for those HubSpot, right? Because HubSpot, there's also, I believe you all have heard of HubSpot, Salesforce, and all of that, right? That is definitely on the higher end of price. I would suggest you to go for things like Go High Level, right? Things like, because those are like 99 USD or maybe 20 over USD, like if you look at Luck, per user, you're talking about, I can't remember offhand, but a few dollars per user. So if you have 5 people, and that would help you, not only that, consolidate everything within one space. So the good part is that your chats, not only internal chats, your
Okay.
same space, and everything is consolidated. And then if you want to share a file, there's a file sharing, something like a Google Cloud like that within. So everything is like within the ecosystem. Yeah. So I give that as an example, because I think that is a well integrated app comparing to Microsoft. Okay? Microsoft, it's because all the big boys use it. It's a big name. It's been there. But when Luck came out, right, and I tested the app recently, right, I was also like, wow, these China guys have really done it the next level. They have answered all the pain points of what we used to have.
Okay. So you reckon Luck is superior to things like Trello and all that?
Superior because they have more features.
I see. Okay.
That requires, because so that Luck has also things like HR management. You can manage all your HR requirements inside there, right? So leaves, whatever, everything. The good part about this as well is that, you see, Luck allows you to do it like touch and go. Where touch and go, they have mini apps.
Yes.
Or the mini app. This one, you can create mini apps within Luck, and that mini app can be on any technology stack. So that's why I was saying just now earlier. If your organizations use Luck, you can have AI powered apps within Luck, hosted in Luck for your staff to use. And everything is consolidated within one ecosystem.
Okay.
So, and next time, if let's say you have turnover, next staff come in, you just transfer the account and everything is transferred there to the next person. You see what I mean? So that's where the ease of that comes in.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, folks.
Yeah.
So let's go around the room in case you guys have any last minute questions or any comments. Anything you want to say? Let's start with Ben.
No comment, no comment.
Okay. Go, what about you?
Oh yeah, who's going for the turunkan Anwar?
Huh.
What do you have to look at? When is that? I don't know.
Saturday.
Oh, okay, Saturday.
This country, I tell you, getting from worse to ridiculous.
Yeah lah, yeah lah.
Nobody is good enough. Ayo.
Okay.
Yeah lah.
Me?
No, I'm okay.
Okay.
But if Mr. Go want to get my experience and contact, just bring a hard disk time into my brain. Plug through my brain. I got an outlet here. Open up.
You
Okay.
You can save everything. You can save 100% from here.
Yeah, like a plug in.
AI will be like that next time, right? So next time, if you wanted to know how to speak Spanish or French, you just plug it in and then you know. How to speak.
We need to embedded a chip inside the somewhere human.
Yeah. Okay.
But that is in the movie, but sometimes it can be reality in the future.
No, Elon Musk is doing that.
Yeah.
Elon Musk is actually trying to do that. So trying to be able to download information into the neural. Yeah.
That'll be interesting.
You see, anything?
Okay.
Casey?
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank you
for
very much.
staying all the way, and
Mr. anything?
yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Johan.
Mr. anything, Mr.
Okay. All right. Okay. I just want to know whether this AI tool actually is it practical for companies with small headcount? Because from the presentation, it gives me the impression that the big companies may use this tool.
Okay. So of course, when we talk about AI, there are two parts of this thing, right? Because why the bigger companies, you always see them using it because they are building LLM, that's large language model. That one definitely is not for small players to play. For smaller players, you can start by, which I said, follow the steps. I will give coach the presentation. You follow the steps to implement within your organization on those items. Later on, you look for AI softwares that can read your database and understand your processes, right? And then from those tools, you will find it very useful when you have all of these documents with you. Any tools, right, that you are going to get off the market without any of your data, right, will just be very general tools only. It's not going to solve your problem.
Yeah, and then I found that some part is similar to CRM system.
Yep. That's why CRM system is the first step to consolidating and systemizing your data. But a lot of smaller players don't do that because they always think CRM system is expensive. But nowadays, today, so many, even that's free. Zoho just now, I think it was Ben, was it? That version. Like Zoho? Yeah,
Yeah.
Ben. Zoho is also a free CRM.
What do you use, Mr.?
Yeah, sorry.
What do you use? What system do you use? What CRM do you use?
CRM. Actually, previously we used CRM before. Sales connection. Sales connection, but at the end it's not successful because we how to say, our people is quite reluctant to use it.
Yeah. So that's why I warned you all just now earlier. AI is not it's not the AI problem. It's the culture, right, that we need to instill into the company and the culture to do those things. A lot of times, smaller organizations always find that is a waste of time, but actually, it's a very vital thing for the growth of the company. Yeah.
Yeah, actually we tried before. CRM at the first year seems quite successful, but come to the second year, we found that the cooperation from the staff, especially from the engineers and technicians, they feel that they had to do
Right.
the double work because they need to send the field service report.
Okay.
Using the current system,
Mm.
and also for customer side, the customer also want them to key in the information into their own system or online system or whatever intranet. So that one is already double work. Okay, if we want them to key in our own company CRM, to them this is another burden. That's why we found this is obstacles.
Because engineers, they are very clever people, so they will feel that doing this kind of work is too tedious. So what I suggest to you, right?
Yeah.
Implement an OCR. That means their service report, right? Get them to submit it as a soft copy. You get the OCR to scan it in straight away. You get all of those data inside of your CRM.
Yeah, this is the better way.
So that because if you tell them to type one by one, they won't do. Even that's why this PCS, I mean this these guys from Thailand, they also do the same thing. Why, as a staff, you want me to one by one go and type in my invoices and my bills and my claims and whatnot? I mean, it's too much work. So what they do is they just submit the soft copy. We use OCR to extract that and put into soft copy format.
But this OCR, can we do it offline?
Yeah.
Because offline can do it.
Yes.
Oh,
The
that's good.
OCR is available everywhere. Google has an OCR. The OCR that I'm using here for this client is a Thai OCR. The Thailand OCR that reads Thai languages and it also helps to read and identify what kind of document that is.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, what is OCR again?
It's okay. So just to give it in simple terms, when you go to car park, you go through the boom gate, and then the camera that scans your car plate number. That's a form of OCR.
Okay. What does it stand for, OCR?
Good question. Let me think. I know what it does. I don't know what it stands for. So
Optical character recognition.
Yes, you're right. Thank you so much. So we use abbreviations. Sometimes we don't even remember what is the actual word.
Right. Okay. Emilia, Miss Chua, that's okay for you?
Oh, okay. I found there's another alternative rather than asking our people to type for many times.
Yeah.
Okay.
So sometimes it's also easing the job for them, in those areas, because they fill in one already. You ask them to fill in again. They say no lah.
Okay.
Won't do that.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, I'm conscious of the time, but we have one last person.
Sorry. Yeah, one last. Yeah.
Okay.
Me.
Yeah.
Can I?
Yeah. Hi, Amelia.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay. Hi. Amelia here, Johan. Okay. My question is, can this, because I've been listening to your presentation, my question, can this be used for those who use Microsoft 365? Now, okay, because I have been heard that you're actually talking about Microsoft 365. So currently, our team actually using Microsoft 365. At the same time, we technically we are the company who I think I can see that using a lot of tools. Yeah, we are using our system for our finance, HR. CRM, in fact, for the forms also, we actually subscribe. There's so many things that we subscribe, in terms of tech. We can say that in terms of using paper and tech, we are using about 90%, everything is on cloud. 90%, yeah?
Very good.
Yeah, very good. Okay, now my question is, can this system use, because we are having this 365, and the 365, there's so many things inside, yeah? So until you overwhelm with all the whole thing is, right? And it's not, it's not everything that actually is easy to actually manage. Yeah, that's number one. Can that be used on top of the Microsoft 365 that we use? The second question, that if we have too many systems now, because too many systems, right? How to consolidate is the system that you're actually talking about today can consolidate all the things that we have, our
Merge into one,
top of our moving one. Johan will understand me, because when
I
you have
totally
so many
understand.
system, we have so
totally-
many system. We in fact we do not have problem in working from home because everything's on cloud.
Of
Too
course.
many system, too many systems. Sometimes I'm looking to some one particular system that you can go in and actually manage everything.
Everything. Yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah,
Totally
just
understand.
something that,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
if not, either me or the team need to memorize so many password. I'm the
Then after that, you need to
worst
have your
part
password
lah.
keeper again. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So,
Very true.
just a question to you. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you, Emilia. Very good question. Okay, so I will answer first your 365 question. I didn't mention earlier, which I think I missed out in the flow of that whole account management, agent, right? Because what it does also is that we integrate these agents to Microsoft. The agents can help you. For example, let's say you have leads coming in. They want to set an appointment with you, right? Normally, if they want to set an appointment with you, your staff will go and talk. Then after that, then they will ask you whether you're available. Then they will help you to schedule inside your Microsoft Outlook and and all these things, right?
Yeah,
So
they use a 365 calendar. Yeah, correct.
calendar, right, which is within Outlook and whatnot. So now agents can actually help you to do that. For example, it can help you to extract the leads out of, let's say, wherever the place are from. Use your WhatsApp, because nowadays we have WhatsApp API. We can use WhatsApp to interact with them first using the bots, using the agents. Okay. After interacting with them, they say, okay, I want to schedule an appointment. They will schedule an appointment. The agent will help you to go into your Microsoft Teams, create a Teams meet, right? Teams meet, and also to help you to schedule based on whichever available dates you have, and all of that using just the agent.
Okay. So let's say if we use a different, for example, you said just Team Meets, because that's the only system that we don't use, Meet, Team, because it's not very user friendly. So we are having a subscribe zones.
Yeah, sure.
So many things.
Yeah. So that's why, for example, now you have that as well, right? So if your preferred choice is using Zoom, if you use a agent flow, right, the agent can also use Zoom to create the links. But then that's what I'm saying, that how you can actually use the agent to bring all these together. Of course, I need to understand a bit more from you. What are the kind of tasks and systems that you are currently using? Because I think that I have to go a little bit more deeper on how you can put all together. But on a simple, on a simple format, you see, we need to know. Okay, even though we are using different systems out there, in the end of the day, what is important to us is the data that is there, right? So if the data is being sent back to your centralized place, remember I spoke about single source of truth. If you start to do that, it's okay for you to have more than one app. It still cannot solve the problem of you having a lot of password. You're still going to have a lot of password with that. But with that single source of truth, you're able to consolidate all those data and have one, either the dashboard or AI to crunch those data within that single source of truth. The single source of truth, when we talk about data warehouse, don't be scared. Don't thinking that it's a few $1 million investment. I have to make sure that, I have all these things. That no, it's not that. Data warehouses can just be on the cloud, but you make sure you have that one location that you're pulling data from your finance, putting it inside there. You're pulling data from your Facebook, you're putting it inside there. And nowadays, all of these, right? Yes, there is the manual way of doing, but there is a way of API doing it automatically, right? And when you have APIs coming from all these different applications into that data warehouse, which is your cloud, it's almost automatic. You don't even notice that it's doing it. And that's the way that you can consolidate now with all of this. If you want to say one leg kick all app, I need to understand first what kind of functions you use. Then I will help you to find a one leg kick all kind of application that can consolidate all this together.
All right.
Did I answer your question? Sorry.
Thanks. Okay, thanks, Johan.
Yeah, thank you, Amelia. Thank you.
Okay. I think if you guys have further questions, you can maybe contact Johan one to one.